Welcome to Module 9, Security of Processing. At the end of this module, you will have a basic understanding of the key principles that GDPR applies to data security. The GDPR emphasizes data confidentiality and security. So, does the GDPR tell me what system to use to keep my data safe? The GDPR does not offer any advice about what systems to put in place, since technical solutions develop and change rapidly, and any advice would quickly become outdated. What it does do is give generic advice which should not change, even if the technology changes. The GDPR requires personal data to be processed in a manner that ensures its security. This is achieved using appropriate technical and organizational measures to protect against unauthorized or unlawful processing, and accidental loss, destruction or damage. The GDPR does not specify the method, but does state that the organization should take into account the state of the art, the cost of implementation, the scope, context and purpose of the processing, and the risk to the rights and freedoms of the data subject posed by the processing. We will explain these in a little more detail. The state of the art. The state of the art refers to using the most appropriate technology in the situation. This is generally seen to be the solution that experts in the field would recommend. The cost of implementation. It is not necessary to use the most expensive solution, just the one that offers the best security for the processing to be completed. The scope, context and purpose of the processing. Consider the type of processing to be completed. If there is limited personal data and very few transfers of that information between systems, then the security will not need to be as rigorous as that for a processor who manages thousands of records and data transfers to multiple locations and systems. The risk to the rights and freedoms of the data subject posed by the processing. If the loss of data would cause a risk to the individual, the security of the data should be more rigorous than a situation where the data is limited and contains nothing that cannot be found in the public domain. We will now ask you a short question. Some time will be left for you to think about the answer. However, feel free to pause the video after the question is asked, to allow yourself enough time to think about the answer. You do not need to click on the boxes to provide your answer. The answer will be given shortly after the question has been asked. When considering data security, what factors should be taken into account? The cost. The risk to the rights and freedoms of data subjects. The technologically most advanced solution. The scope and purpose of the processing. All should be taken into account, apart from the technologically most advanced solution. The most appropriate system needs to be used, not necessarily the most advanced. This is the end of our module, Security of Processing. You can now move on to Module 10, Data Breaches.